Hello, everybody. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Buck Ferry.
And you are listening to Greynoise.
Damn it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Greynoise, again, the Information Security Podcast. This is episode 114. Oh, shit. Ooh, scary. I fucked it up. I fucked it up. Anyway, yeah. So
I let you do ooh scary 1 year.
One time.
My bad.
It's
No,
a
actually,
spooky
we're
intro.
gonna have the spooky intro for the next 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So listen for that because it was made by my pal BGM over here.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
do go on.
You made the intro. So you'll be hearing that because we are celebrating the 31 Days of Scary. It was a tradition started by me and BGM, and you can adopt it too. Basically, here are the rules. Something scary.
I'm looking at. Do the thing, dude.
Okay.
That was a weird place to
Sorry.
to change.
I know. Well, he
change.
grabbed my phone.
I was looking
Here
at
we are
stuff.
talking about privacy, and here he goes grabbing my phone.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I heard the word dick.
No,
So did
no,
I.
I didn't say
You
dick.
heard that?
I heard Dick.
Okay.
I heard Dick.
All right.
Dick was involved.
In the 31 days of scary, you're either watching a scary movie, you're going to a haunted house, you're playing scary video games, but you're doing something scary every day. So if you want to follow along with us, that's what we do. Anyway, that was our scary intro. We hope you like it. So let's do some announcements. We are here, like every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. at the Sin Shop. That is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Hey, Crux, we are still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace. Let's see.
Where is Crux? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's around. He's around. So for more information on the shop, go to sinshop.org. We have a lot of meetups and appointments and things going on. So go to meetup.com/sinshop for information on that. Lockpick night will be coming up this Monday. So if you're there, awesome. Please be there. I'll be helping out there. And for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. Do you guys have any announcements? Nope?
No.
All right.
No, nothing for me.
So today,
Well, let's go ahead.
we're talking about your topic later. I know that you wanted. That's what you
I was
wanted
going to lead into that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're getting there. So today we had no Fozzie Hour meetup because it's the first Friday of the month, which means we did our 2600 meeting.
That's
Now-
a lot of meetings.
We'll
No,
just,
it's
well,
called
we need an
2600.
applause sign up there for.
No,
for
no,
these
I don't.
ones.
No.
We should get that. No. Yeah, thanks. You made me lose my train of thought.
I'm here to help.
First Friday of every month, we have the 2600 meeting where we get to talk about cool hacker shit. And it was started by, 2600, the Hacker Quarterly, was started in New York. The new magazine, the Autumn Edition, is out now, at least advertised by their website. I have not I have not gotten it in the mail just yet. I checked today. I'm kind of sad. I was hoping to have it here to present, but I'll hopefully have it either tomorrow or Monday.
Why are you so excited about this issue, Chen?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you for that
welcome.
setup there.
You're
It's
welcome.
because I am in this one. I am in this issue, so please look out for it. I'll probably be posting the article a little bit later, but you can pick up your magazine if you don't subscribe by going to Barnes & Noble. That's still a thing.
Huh.
Barnes & Noble is still around here, actually 2 blocks down the street. I don't know, really quick, do you guys have a preference on whether you have a paper book or a Kindle? Do you give a shit?
For reference material, I prefer physical copies because I like to write notes on reference books and stuff like textbooks and things like that. A lot of the no search press books I like to have physical copies of. But fiction I can do ebooks. That's fine.
I think I'm all PDF all the way, even
Really?
for technical.
Really?
Yeah, I have an old Nook that I rooted and put just Android on, and so that's the one for the garage. So I mean,
You have an e-reader for the garage.
well, I mean, if I need to look up something or in a PDF, technical.
cars and stuff, right?
Like car
Huh?
manuals,
Yeah.
like soldering stuff, how to hide bodies, and
Well,
things like
you know.
that.
Garage stuff.
Yeah,
Garage
garage
stuff.
stuff.
Garage stuff.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
if
just-
you have the extra freezer, you might as well be using it.
I'm just making sure I'm on the
Or know someone with a pig farm.
That's right. Yeah.
Right,
I'm just making sure we're all on the same page.
right.
So, all right, let's go into our.
Saying you don't know somebody with
Oh, we all got a pig farm guy. Don't get us wrong here.
I can
we all got a
neither
pig farm.
confirm nor deny these alligators.
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 Oh, I just realized
in
no
Florida.
one could hear the quips coming from
Yes.
the audience.
Oh yeah. So, Vic is working on a pretty kick-ass project, which maybe he could talk about later. With us, I mean, I don't know if he wants to put that on the podcast, but that's why he's over there and not in front of a mic.
Looks like he's rewiring a heatsink.
Something like that. We do have Zenify here, though. He is off camera, but hi.
He's on camera. He's on camera. I can see him.
Is he?
Yeah, I can see his face.
Oh, his head is there.
head
Hey,
is there.
Zenify. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Why? What's up?
No, I'm just asking you, dude.
Oh, okay.
I can't just ask you.
I'm suspicious about everything.
And that's what happens when you're in cybersecurity. You just become, become paranoid.
Why you asking about how my
You know
day
what?
went? Why are you
Actually-
asking about it?
Actually, now that you say that, I think it goes one of two ways. Either you get super paranoid about everything, or you stop caring.
You stop giving a shit?
It's either way, and I'm at the not giving a shit part.
Okay, well,
I'm there.
To piggyback off of this conversation, we'll start with.
So we got two of us who are characters from Brave New World.
Two. Well, I know. I don't give a shit so much.
I just want to point out that apathy was the downfall of humanity in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World.
I'm not. No. That's not to say I'm not. That's not to say I'm apathetic. I just don't give a shit. Like people are like,
That's apathetic.
no,
I
dude,
don't
no,
give a
dude.
shit.
Like
I mean,
people, like
I'm
people
pretty
like,
sure that's not the official definition. I don't think it says
That's pretty
shit.
pretty
I
damn
don't think it
close.
says shit, but
people get
there's
no.
another
People get very
word.
high strung. Like, oh, I would never have a Google Home in my
Hold
house.
on.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I'm
don't let me
saying-
get started then.
This is the topic that Ferry wanted to bring up
is
today,
it? Yeah.
which is what do you do? Go ahead and
See, we're on the
introduce
same
your
level.
topic.
Right? No, we
That's
totally
what I'm
are.
saying. Thank you for answering our questions, Zenify, because you brought us into the next topic.
All right,
So-
let's let
I'm so
Buck Ferry.
confused.
Buck
talk.
fair, yes. So what I was thinking about this earlier this week. Are we at a point where it doesn't even matter anymore as far as internet security? Are we at a point where it's like, immigrants have to turn over their Facebook login to the government? Is anything we do even kind of secret anyway? So that kind of, and I'm not saying yes or no, but I'm kind of
That's the
asking the question. Like, we talked about it earlier. Zenify's got a VPN set up. Great. My mom doesn't. You know what I mean? What does she
Absolutely.
do? What does the normal punter in the man on the street do when it comes to stuff like that?
You can opt out of not having a Facebook.
But then, what do you? All right, it's a whole
But
thing.
but go ahead. What you were saying.
Well, do yours first, BGM.
No,
and then
I was just going to say
counterpoint.
anything done on the deep web is still going to be private because there's
Even
unless you explicitly go through Facebook.onion and say this is literally BGM talking and I'm saying this.
I mean,
unless you do
even-
that, there's no way they can trace.
there absolutely is, because remember Magic Dave a couple months or maybe even longer than that ago was talking about your footprint on the web. So if you change your browser size, if you change what OS you're using or whatnot, they can determine. Obviously not as well as if you log into your Facebook, but they can still determine who you are because of the things you're doing to your browser. If you use Chrome in this way on your regular browser, then you use the Tor browser in a similar way. That's a footprint, and they know.
We have some friends who are working on obfuscating that.
It's not as granular. I mean, it's not as direct as just saying I'm Devin Jones. I logged into my Facebook, but because of my window footprint, they know they have an idea.
But the Tor browser, and correct me if I'm wrong because I usually am, but the Tor browser doesn't use cookies. You can't store cookies.
But it does report window sizes, fonts, all that kinds of stuff.
So that is still a footprint, not necessarily.
It's not.
I mean, stuff like that though is in a smoking gun. That's all circumstantial.
But for the people who are like, I'll never have a Google Home. They're like, I'm also never gonna log into Facebook or whatever. But it's sort of the same thing. Like, you're not as secure as you think just because you're using a Tor browser.
Right.
If you use a Tor browser and you have other, if you have other fonts installed in your
People
your
forget what
PC,
Tor is for, though.
I seriously doubt that if Facebook can tell that I use Comic Sans and I have 170% font size, that it's distinctly me. That's
we're not talking about Facebook,
I mean,
we're talking about-
that's a pretty unique thing, but they can't
But, okay,
distinctly say it's
Facebook
me.
no, but three-letter agencies yes.
But Tor is not an end-all be-all. Remember, that's not about
Still-
privacy. It's about I hate this word.
I mean, that's
anonymity.
not anonymity. That's not
Anonymity.
a fingerprint, though. That's not.
Anonymity.
But there's a lot more pieces of data to that. For example,
Community mic.
it's not just that you're using Comic Sans. They can actually figure out which ones you have available to you, and that's a much closer signature.
Which what's have available.
Which fonts you have available
like
to
on your
you.
system and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely,
what fonts you have available to you, what browser version you're using.
How can they tell what fonts I have installed just from a user?
I don't know.
It's
I don't
one
know.
of the
I
things
don't
that
know.
they're able to figure out.
Because I've taken a close look at response headers. There's nothing that lists all the fonts.
I don't know. I'm not the expert on it, but I know Magic Dave and Magic Davis, we know pretty knowledgeable, says they can absolutely not identify you, but they can capture that information.
I would like
Yeah.
to hear how
I'm
they
not
can
sure.
capture
I can't
what
speak to that.
fonts I have installed just from a response header.
Not my specialty.
Well, I'll have to
Sorry.
look into it, but it is something to be aware of.
Specialty.
Just speaking about security as far as obfuscation and whatnot, we're not as anonymous as we might think.
Yeah.
Fair.
Just because
That's-
we're on
that's a
tour
fair
or
point.
whatever.
But a footprint isn't the same thing as a fingerprint either. I mean, a footprint will narrow down people, but it won't distinctly tell who someone is.
I mean that's just one thing though. That's just one way to lead them closer to you. And I'm not saying you especially, but you're gonna fuck up at some other time.
I mean,
OPSEC is very hard, dude. OPSEC is very, very
maybe-
hard.
I mean,
like-
if a three-letter agency really wants to like take you to court for whatever reason, and they're like, "Well, Judge, he has 76 fonts installed, and 3 of them are copperplate Gothic style," and like that's not gonna
Build
fly
it- it's-
anywhere.
no,
I don't,
build
but
it-
a
build-
jury is going to see that, and they're
builds
going
a
to think
case.
about CSI, and they're going to be
builds a
like,
case.
oh, well,
Enhance.
they clearly match.
The
No,
jury,
it's
the jury should actually say enhance and let them struggle to
We have a
enhance
match.
their
But
testimony.
that's not the be all end all. It's building a case.
Yeah.
That's just one part. It's like, well, now I know this, or not that I know, but I have strong suspicion that this person is doing these things because of this footprint.
It might get them to look at
now
you
I
longer.
look deeper.
I
now I
can
look
concede
deeper.
to that.
Fair. Okay, community mic.
I'm the average guy. You know, as far as operational security goes, I don't care because I don't have enough exposure to care. You could probably type my name up and probably not find it.
But is that
I'm
that
not
your apathy
active.
though?
I'm just not active
That,
enough.
that
to
sounds
care.
that sounds like the beginning of complacency, which
I-
is
I
also
want-
something
Well, I
that
I want
understand
to respond to that as
complacency,
well.
falling into.
But I don't use I have a disposable credit card, a reloadable credit card, so I buy all my purchases online off of that. So I don't expose my bank accounts or anything like that. I have only one credit card, so I don't have a huge credit history to dig up. I just don't have the trail to trace because I don't need it.
That's good.
There's a lot of people at work that can't exist without being connected in a modern way.
Anyone born in the last 20 years can't exist without being connected.
Because they don't know what
no
it's
one,
like
no one can
not
be.
to be connected.
Well,
don't
they
know.
don't
You can't be.
understand what it's like to make their own decisions based on what they know or make the leap of faith to try something without being afraid of failing. And that's the biggest issue I have with a lot of my employees.
So speaking,
going back real quickly to the virtual or the disposable card you use, there is a website that I still use called privacy.com.
oh yeah, I use that too.
That you can create. You have to link up a bank account to it, but you can create unlimited virtual cards that you can that are just disposable, one-time use or whatever. You can just get
Oh,
rid
that's
of them.
neat. Privacy.com.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
you
speaking
need
about
mic?
apathy, I don't think I'm apathetic. Maybe I could.
Oh,
be.
yeah, you are.
I could be. But as far as like
I don't care.
as far as privacy and whatnot, it's I use two-factor authentication everywhere. I'm trying to be as secure as I can be, but at the same time, I'm not stressing out because somebody took my picture or fucking there's like cameras places or people are listening to what I say. That's what I mean. I don't give a shit about. I don't give a shit about like not having things. I don't care about not having creature comforts because I don't want to give up something. It's already gone. All that's gone.
yeah.
The moment you're born, it's gone.
And that's my
I
point.
have one of these things, the YubiKey for my two-factor auth.
yeah.
And that's kind of what my point with that was, is like, have we already passed it? And all
Absolutely.
the efforts of, oh my God, don't, like, all the years that I would refuse to sign up for those grocery shopper cards, you know.
You're just
I don't
missing
want
out
you
on gas
collecting-
points.
Yeah, that's
You're just
really,
missing out on free gas.
Yeah, and they already have all of the things.
Well,
like,
They know they got. I mean, if you want to go that deep, they've got your face on camera. They got your debit card purchases.
I don't think all is lost. I guess to answer your question, there are some steps that you can take in retrospect where maybe you do a little bit of a misinformation campaign. You know, like where
You could fuzz them.
a little bit, like you change. Like for those of you who know what I do with Facebook,
What do you
Okay.
do with Facebook?
you know, but I'm not going to say my real name. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I mean, you could also throw up a lot of fake info.
Right.
do.
Like,
A lot
for
of banana
instance,
stuff.
Let's say somebody wanted to know my political affiliation, but I'm throwing articles from both sides, or I'm giving an opinion that somebody on both sides would say. Like, you really can't pinpoint me as easily as somebody who's just toting one side. You know what I mean? So you could go on these misinformation campaigns. Not that it's going to solve the problem, but it may make it harder for somebody to target you.
great, but they have your voting records already.
Oh, snaps.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
snaps.
fair.
I mean,
But who has your voting records
The
already?
people who would care enough to go looking for it have it already.
Yeah.
The people that everyone's trying. Because I mean, no one's hiding from the script kiddie next door. You don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Another thing I don't give a shit about. script kiddies and whatnot, but the people who would care enough to look into you have it already.
You should care.
You
should care, though.
I do care enough to be secure as much as I can, but at the same time, shit's still gonna happen. Like I still got, whatever last week happened.
Yeah.
Shit still happens, even though I'm trying to be of the utmost secure.
And I mean, you want to talk about last week? I mean, why? Never mind. No, I'm not gonna
Why?
bring it up.
Say it.
I'm not gonna bring it up.
Say it.
I'm not gonna bring it up.
Now I'm confused. You talking about me or something else?
No, I'm talking about something else.
Oh,
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
I don't want to say it on the
Yes. But I mean, that's what I mean. So I'm not apathetic. I do care in the sense that I try to be secure, but at the same time, I'm not going to miss out on things because I'm scared someone's going to invade my privacy.
something.
It's already gone. My privacy's already been invaded. I don't care. That's what I don't care about.
That's why you love the Pixel so much.
What? Oh, that's a
we're
whole,
getting into that.
that's
Hold
a
on.
whole other thing.
Hold on, man. You set him off.
I didn't say Pixel 2. I just said Pixel.
Oh, hold on, but you
His
set him
current
off.
phone.
Yeah.
You said something associated with Google.
his
Just hold
current-
on. Let me diffuse the situation right quick.
Hold on. Hold on.
Let that
everybody.
bum tick.
Mr. Ferry, have we answered your questions?
Mr. Ferry.
Mr. Ferry.
So, well, no, I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to spawn the conversation because a lot of times it feels like some people still think that there's a reason to continue to do these things, and I have yet to hear what that reason is. Because, like we were just saying, okay, you go through all this trouble to obfuscate your behavior on Facebook, your political affiliations, but they've got your voting records.
But who is they?
The people who care enough to get it.
Exactly.
And even in addition to that, let's go for the people who don't have Facebook, who's like, I refuse to get a Facebook, they track you too much, blah, 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 blah. Facebook is already creating ghost profiles of you based on the friends and people you live around.
Yeah.
They've already got your information through third parties.
Yeah.
So
I can't stop
That sounds
people
like
from
something
tagging my
I've-
freaking face.
That sounds like something I did for a project 2 years ago.
it's a bit more involved, but yeah, it's the same thing. Like through your contacts, like through you, through BGM.
You're right.
They're getting information on me even if I don't want it.
Right.
Without me saying,
Sounds
yeah,
like
you can
something
have
you'd
this.
want to do if you were to automate your stalking.
Huh?
That was the name of my.
I know, dude.
Okay,
I
I'm
got
just
it.
saying. Okay.
No.
Anyway,
I
that
don't
was
wear
just
stockings.
throwing that in. Anyway.
No,
all
but,
right.
but like I said, like people who are like I'm only writing letters or I'm not no online presence or whatever. Your
Right.
presence is already online.
Yeah.
Just from you being
arbitrarily or like by proxy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
by your bank records, your credit scores, your fucking if you buy a house, you rent an apartment, your
Right.
shit's already everywhere.
Right.
If for the people who care enough to go after that kind of stuff.
And
Wow.
I mean,
you make me want to give up.
And I'm not saying, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not empathetic in the sense that you should just stop. Like, don't just be like, fuck it, everybody can have everything. But I am secure as much as I can be.
Yeah.
But I'm not stressing out about stuff that I can't control or that's already lost.
So what about high-profile people that we all know people are going after, like Edward Snowden? Why haven't they gotten him yet?
State interest,
If they can just get whatever they want.
nation
out of
state,
it.
nation
Well, I'm
state
sure
interest.
now he's not
How-
using credit.
How did they not? How
As
could
an
they not
example.
tell? Let's go further back. How could they not tell that he would have leaked the documents or leaked the data beforehand? I mean, there's a rigorous process in the background checks that go along with security clearance.
I don't know, but I will say I'm assuming that.
I mean, you're saying that they know everything about everything. So how come they couldn't tell that he would have released the documents? Why did they clear him?
Well, I'm not saying they know everything about
The
everything.
community
I'm
might.
saying that they have a profile on you already. As far as like they have your not everything. Like if you don't have a Facebook, they maybe not know what you look like or whatever. But they have information on you. Not that they know everything about you. They don't know your.
That's not what you said, though. You
I
said,
said-
if they have enough interest, they will get
They
whatever they
will,
want.
and maybe they didn't have enough interest on him. He was working for the NSA. Why? I
They
have no idea.
They do 10-year background checks for
They
that
do-
kind of clearance.
so does the
They
military.
have a
So
lot
does
of
the
interest
military.
on that.
So does the general military.
They
Air Force,
have
Army.
a lot
They
of
do.
interest on that.
Well, and-
Wait. For like the Army and Air Force also do a 10-year background check. So that's not special for the NSA. I don't know as far as like his involvement or whatever. But maybe he wasn't an interesting person until this
At the
happened.
time.
It could have been a switch that flipped.
They could save his information for retrospect, but that's
But that doesn't mean he's a threat. I mean, if they hired him, I'm assuming he wasn't a threat when he applied and or got hired. So it's a thing that a switch could have flipped. He could have lost his mind. Anything could have happened. I don't know his psych profile, and obviously he was good enough to get hired, so it wasn't a red flag at the time. And things change. Maybe day after day of data input, he's like, "Fuck this." I have no idea. But they definitely had a profile on him. It just wasn't enough to raise red flags.
Community Mike.
The background check they do, goes back your entire life. Okay, I'm not just saying this because I'm paranoid. I'm telling you, it goes back your entire life.
Is that for every government position or specific roles?
Specific roles in specific places. Mr. Snowden obviously didn't come up on the radar during the background check. But just because you get a background check doesn't determine that you're safe forever and ever and ever. This brings us back to the argument of free speech versus operational security or government, government security. Some people believe there's an actual line, but it's one of those gray areas that the Supreme Court hasn't really defined because they don't want to.
Yay.
And I feel like maybe I'm misspeaking, and I don't want to give the wrong idea. So whoever is interested in you doesn't know everything about you, but they definitely know something about you.
I feel like they'll know a lot more if you have a wider presence. You just don't care, and you have a wider presence on the internet.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the easier
So
it
there
is, the
is
easier
a
it is to
reason
find
to
stuff.
care.
That's why I said I'm as secure as I can be. Like, I'm not just doling out information. I'm not leaving credit cards and whatnot around. I do use two-factor authentication. I am secure. It's just that I'm not going to stress about putting a Google Home in my apartment or having a grocery super saver thing, whatever it's called. I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm not going to stress out about that because it's already done. That part's already done.
Right.
The little information, my birthday, my date of birth, or whatever that they can glean from that is already
Out there.
public knowledge, or somebody already has it. That's what I mean. So I don't want to say that everybody they don't have an entire complete profile on you, but they definitely know who you are.
Yeah.
That's all.
I agree. And as far as Snowden is concerned, I'm pretty sure that up until the point where he saw the Apache helicopter shooting people that were responding to a shooting, that we shouldn't have shot. I'm sure up until that point, no, wait, that was Chelsea Manning, wasn't it? That was Chelsea Manning.
Yeah, that's
my
the other
bad.
one.
Okay, but at any rate, until he saw the things that he saw and was like, hey, wait a minute, that's bullshit. I don't think that, he was that person. Like, he kind of, I'm not going to say radicalized, I don't think it was radical, but he saw something and was like, hey, that's bullshit.
There are always signs. Like, for someone like Snowden, you could have looked at his Facebook post history and kind of got an idea of where he leans on some of these things, or, whatever.
But
if that's if they were paying attention, but clearly they weren't. So
Wait a second. So this is something that always has stood out about Captain America. If you take Captain America, one of the reasons that those movies were so good, the more recent ones, is because all they did was take Captain America's values from the 50s and put them today, and all of a sudden, oh, wow, he's a radical guy.
Yeah.
He's against the government because he's being what America says on the tin. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a similar thing there with Edward Snowden. He's like, wait a minute, the ideals say that we should do this, that, and that thing, and we're doing this completely different thing. We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise the.
And I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if anybody looked closely enough at what he was saying online, looked at his footprint closely enough, they could have probably gleaned that maybe the stuff that he has access to, not necessarily stuff he should be seeing, but stuff he has access to, might go against what he personally prefers.
And I don't know this. Did he post a lot on Facebook?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
He could have posted nothing. I've never said anything political on my Facebook. You would never know.
And that furthers my
Wait, you
point
show
a
those
little
dank
bit.
ass memes though.
That furthers my point
do
a
have
little
dank
bit.
ass
It's,
memes.
if you really want to stop posting on Facebook and stop it, it will
It
hinder
will-
them to the point of uselessness.
Yes, and I'm not, and I that's why I feel like I'm misspeaking. That's why I am secure. I like to think I'm secure. I don't post my picture everywhere. I don't do these sorts of things. But I'm not, I'm not anonymous. People know who I am. You could find me relatively easily. I assume.
love your modesty.
Relatively easily, you can find me.
Well, I mean, we do a very public show.
I know.
We do a very public show.
Hi, hello.
We do a very public show.
If you're watching live, hello.
And I totally forgot where I was going.
I know what you were saying. I know what you're saying. You don't just.
Oh yeah,
you
but
don't, you don't refuse to sign up for the cards and put on your tinfoil hat and say, "What are you trying to get out of me?"
Yeah. So I'm not, but I'm not giving up at the same
sign
time.
up for my gas card.
Yeah,
but
I'm not giving up. Like at the same time, I'm not like, fuck it, just take me, everything. Yeah. So I'm
take me.
Just take me, fuck it, in the middle. A little
The
bit.
guy at the gas station's like, that's $32, sir.
I just want to say that it's very dangerous once you start entering complacency or apathy. You have to kind of stay a little bit vigilant.
Okay,
if you want to maintain your privacy.
Let's make a disclaimer. You should always be vigilant about your your public persona and anything you hold dear to you, but don't be crazy about it. That's my disclaimer.
Where's
Don't
that
be-
line?
Where?
I mean, you're
Speaking
cool.
of don't be crazy about it, you mentioned Magic Dave earlier, and he's the most paranoid person I know.
Absolutely,
I know.
absolutely.
I
100%,
know.
yeah.
He's the one who was like, "Don't use regular phones because their baseband radio is always on and they're recording you." I'm
That's
like, "Whoa."
that's the line. That's the level. That's the level. Like if you won't use anything but a phone you build yourself, that's the line.
Wow.
That's where the line is.
But
right
that's
there.
a shout out to you, Magic Day. We're not dissing you or anything.
No, I mean, like that's
No, I mean,
he's
that's-
the most paranoid person I know.
No,
So
absolutely, absolutely.
I have to agree with you.
So there's like
He would agree with me.
You would agree
Yeah.
with this too.
So one end of the spectrum, you have people who built their own phones and refuse to be on any sort of public service, and then you have, well, I think I'm in the middle. You know, I'm not going to build my own phone, but I'll be on shit. I'll be on Facebook or whatever. And you have people at the other end who are just like, fuck it, take me. Take me.
As sad as it makes me, as sad as it is for me to say this, I think we're all in like the lower 20% of the people of like a group of 20% who actually try to maintain privacy actively.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I have a YubiKey. You always use 2FA. I'm pretty sure we all use 2FA
I have a
whenever we
YubiKey
can.
too.
Yep.
And Zenify is a YubiKey, and I just don't feel like a lot of people. I feel like the vast majority are among the people who don't care and
Absolutely.
are willing to overshare on Facebook.
I'm willing to bet most people don't use two-factor authentication until their institution or whatever forces them to.
yeah.
And I'm sure that they're sharing, which is cool. You know, share your life, talk to your family, do whatever you want.
Right.
I wonder how many people get compromised and then just clench their butthole just a little bit more.
Everyone,
Like they're like, fuck.
everybody ever,
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah.
everyone ever.
Just
Well,
saying.
Because
I
when
mean,
you-
saying.
it's annoying to see, but how many times have you seen, oh, my Facebook got hacked, LOL? I mean,
That's just dumb. That's just dumb.
it's still leaving your stuff
I know,
open.
it is. But you're right. But people after that, I'm pretty sure that after they leave the public library, they log out, or they log out after.
Then they get hacked again.
Yeah,
hacked again.
when they go to the bathroom, maybe they lock their workstation. It's a step in the right direction.
Are you supposed to do that?
That's the dream.
Yes.
Just kidding.
obviously.
Just-
Okay.
JK.
At my job, yeah.
JK.
All right, guys. So thank you for that question, Mr. Ferry. I don't think we've.
I really should have thought about that name.
Yeah,
I really should have given it some more thought. I think that's a 1 week. That's a 1 week name. I think.
Are you gonna go back to anyway?
I mean, if you,
Huh?
we'll talk about it
okay,
after.
okay.
We'll talk about it after.
So-
Yeah, Buck Fairy. That's different, but
Buck Fairy.
just Mr.
Well,
Fairy.
I said Buck Fairy. Chin keeps saying
I keep
Mr.
saying
And
Fairy.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
Every time he calls you Mr. Ferry, just be like, please, call me Buck.
Please, call me Buck.
All right, Doxy. What are your
family name.
opinions on the latest Google stuff?
Well, so the Google event was this last week.
yes.
Uh,
Are you gonna get the Pixel 2?
Hold on a second.
Okay, sorry.
Me and BGM had a very heated discussion
Yes,
last night.
it was very
a
heated.
very heated discussion about the Pixel.
Tables were
about-
flipped.
About
Well, it's a
the,
good thing it's fall.
Yeah,
Heated discussion. You guys are staying warm. All right, never mind. Sorry.
no.
Damn it. All
All
right,
right,
next
not
week,
even
Chen's off the
close.
show.
Carry on. Carry on.
Chen's off the show next week.
Carry on.
Jesus.
Carry on.
Jesus, dude.
See, I derailed the show. Go ahead.
So, me and BGM had a very heated conversation about. Well, right now we're concerned about the LG
Heated.
P30 versus the Pixel XL2 and the Pixel 2. I don't remember the exact words, but BGM said I'm buying for the name, right? The Pixel.
Yeah, because it's essentially the Android iPhone.
Which,
yeah, okay.
you know what? Now that I think about it,
It is?
I'm not your average consumer. I don't buy just because. Just 'cause
You're
it's
so
just,
scattered
just,
right
just, I don't buy just because it's like a flashy phone or whatever. But I do buy for the name. And
Yeah.
Google has made the Pixel phone, like you call it, the Android iPhone. It absolutely is. Which, to be completely honest, is all I've wanted since the first Nexus device.
We don't know
I've
him
want-
anymore. Who the fuck is this guy?
Who, me?
I'm with him.
No, that's what I've wanted since the. Think about it. Okay, so and everybody.
I
else-
just thought he was a Google fanboy.
Everybody else compares the Nexus phones to the Pixel and says, why is Pixel expensive? Why can't they just be like the Nexus phones or whatever? And even though, for fact checking, the Nexus phones were never that cheap. Look at the Nexus 6 and the Nexus S and all that stuff. That's a whole other thing, though.
I mean, the Razor was $600. You guys
Yeah.
remember that?
Wow, really?
Yeah, when
Yeah,
it first
when
came
it
out.
first came out. Yeah.
So, but
It
if you think about it, the Nexus line, all the way from the Nexus 1 up to the Nexus 6P and 5X, whatever, are developer phones. Updates first. They've got Google's first design, their new stuff like Google Lens and all that stuff. It's all their first run products that aren't very well fleshed out. but they want people to use them. And that's what you get on the Nexus devices.
Yeah.
And now the Pixel line is a way more refined version of Android that works really well. I've had every iteration, I've had a lot of different Google phones over the years. And every phone inevitably encounters slowdowns and encounters jankiness and just all around general, after a year or two, just kind of shittiness. It's just kind of like, it was only $400 or $500, it was cheap, but it sucks now. And now I have to upgrade to the next Nexus device. With the Pixel, it runs just as well now as it did when I bought it a year ago.
Yeah.
Which is what Android is, which is what Google is going for. They are going for their version of the iPhone, which I'm cool with. I like that. If it means they put more care and thought
Like
into their product.
longevity. You're looking for longevity.
Longevity. Software support. I mean, so
So I just mentioned tinfoil hats, but I'm going to don mine here and say that there are a lot of people who report their old iPhones slowing down once a new one comes out.
I think that was proven because they got taken
No,
to
it
court
was
for
definitely
that.
proven.
It
yeah.
was
It was proven, yeah.
taken to
So
court.
what if Google follows that trend too?
I mean, they followed the headphone
Then your
trend,
Pixel's
so.
useless.
Then my
That would
Pixel,
be evil.
then my Pixel is useless, and that's shitty to think about. But at that point, you know what? And this kind of circumvents the whole reason for me liking the Pixels. But if that were to happen, there's always different ROMs. But that would circumvent the whole reason for me liking Pixels and whatnot. But I can always put a new, fresh ROM on there, which I don't want to do. That's why I like the Pixel.
Yeah.
But it's there, which is another great thing about Android. You can do whatever you want within reason.
Are you gonna get any of their other products that they were advertising?
I
for
have a Daydream headset. It's useless. Don't get it. Don't get it.
You're
Don't
talking
get
VR?
it. Don't
One,
get it. The
one
VR.
comes free. One comes free with the V30.
really?
The Daydream. It came free with the Pixel last year.
Oh, you told me that.
There is one use case for it. If you,
Ooh.
if you like going out in nature.
Oh, sorry, just kidding. That's not what I was thinking about.
No, not that.
I saw where he was going with that. That's cool.
I'm not gonna wear goggles while I'm Chromecasting. You know.
Yeah, okay.
No, so
Too many
Callbacks.
inside jokes.
too many inside jokes. I know. No, but there is one good use case for it. If you like going out in nature, you want to get like a 360 camera, do that so you can like actually show people, hey, this is the canyon that
Yes.
we went to.
I
and
do
this
have
is
a
the thing.
360 camera.
That's pretty cool.
That
That's the
360
only
camera's
use case I
nice.
could think for that.
I do have a 360 camera.
I want one.
So going back to the phones,
Yes.
at this point, I don't know. I'm really torn between the V30 and the Pixel 2, which is kind of weird because they are almost the exact same phone. The Pixel 2 is based off the V30 design, very much, but it's a bit different.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different is the internals and whatnot. As far as like the cameras, like the V30 has a dual camera setup. The V30 just have the single camera, but whatever. So I don't know. I'm in the middle.
I don't think the V30 has the squeezy side.
No,
squeezy
that's
sidey button.
that's an HTC thing.
Like that.
This is the
that
international.
BGM like
this is
that.
the international symbol for squeezy sidey
Squeezy
button.
sidey button.
Because the HTC U11 is the one that has the squeezable sides, but it's mapped to screenshots, I think.
No. So I was talking about this with my coworker. So here's the problem that I have with using voice commands on these systems. So far, and I'm not talking about like what recently was released, but prior to that, like let's say if you wanted to give it a voice command, you have to say, "Okay, Google," pause, wait for it to blink or beep, then you give the command. So there's that interruption, and it's not an intuitive conversation that you're having with your device, right?
Right.
It's not like, "Okay, Google, take a selfie." It's "Okay, Google,
I'm on Do Not
bleep,
Disturb.
take a selfie."
Right.
And so with this new squeezy side button thing,
Yeah.
you can squeeze it, take a selfie, or you can squeeze it and give it a command.
I'm
take a
assuming
selfie. Or play this.
I'm assuming you can remap the squeeze function to any number.
No,
of
I
things.
think you can.
be able
to. Yeah.
But the point is, instead of saying "Okay, Google," waiting for the pause and then giving the command, you can squeeze, give the command, and now it's becoming a more intuitive conversation with your device.
I mean, that is their big focus, is on AI being more
Right, more just
easy
natural,
to use.
right?
Yeah. Instead of being
That's going to be interesting. I'm interested in following that, like seeing where that goes.
the squeeze feature.
No, the integration with AI in a natural conversation type of way. Not "Okay, Google," bloop, command. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're just missing one phrase, but it's the same thing.
It doesn't matter. I don't say, "Okay, BGM, boop, how are you?" I don't.
Pretty good. Pretty
See,
good.
I don't say that.
But you do wait for them to acknowledge that they're talking to you.
That is true.
Yeah, but I do that by turning to him and just saying, "How? Oh, shut the hell up."
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Fuck you, Mr. Ferry.
Damn.
What I'm saying though is, but you see this though? It's a
Yeah.
natural conversation
Right.
where I don't have to wait. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm waiting for your input, but it's not like, again, "Okay, Ferry, bloop, how are you? It's not like that. That's not what it is.
Please.
It's not the same type of.
Call me Buck.
It's not the. No, I'm gonna call you Mr. Perry. It's not the same type of acknowledgement. Now, as we're talking about acknowledgement, Community Mike.
Hey.
It's
See how I did that?
Kind of off subject, but I don't understand what your generation's deal is with selfies on these phones.
I don't take selfies.
Neither do I.
It's not what I use
So
it
what's
for.
the big deal about this camera then?
Did you ever notice that
Well,
kids
it
take
serves-
pictures of themselves?
Jen-
It
with their
Jen-
serves
Jen
phones?
takes
absolutely
selfies, just
no
not in his
purpose
face.
on my phone. If I could rip it off and get like better reception, I'd do it.
I don't take selfies.
Well, as far as that, I mean, I don't know. This is anecdotal, but nobody really talks on the phone anymore. It's like short bursts.
Yeah.
Nobody's calling home to speak for hours. You know.
I actually really don't like talking on.
I hate.
I
talking on the
don't.
phone.
I
much
refuse.
prefer text.
I refuse to answer my phone. If you don't.
If
text
somebody's
me,
calling you nowadays, it's because it's a fucking emergency. Like somebody's dying.
you better leave a message, because if you don't, I'm assuming it's not important and I won't call you back. You better text me. Text me.
Now, I understand that, but with a lot of the information that modern devices can do, like drawings, plans, where I can find pipelines and stuff like that, it would be a lot more useful if I had better reception than a camera. So I could say, here's a picture of dirt.
But you're
Which serves absolutely no
you're not-
purpose whatsoever.
Or for you,
but you're in the bottom 1% of consumers, and the people who take selfies and the emerging millennials are much higher.
Well, you want to talk about reception, the V30, which I'm going to get next week. The V30 is
me warm,
multi-band,
guys.
and
Keep
it
me
actually
warm.
is the first thing that supports the 600 megahertz LTE, the gigabit speed LTE. So it should have decent reception
I mean, as
compared
far
to the previous models.
Oh, I'm sorry. As far as taking pictures of yourself or your food or your dog or whatever, okay, I get it. That's not a good use case for you. But if you want to be like, hey, look at what the freaking new guy fucked up, you take a picture. So, I mean,
when the new guy makes something that bad, I just get his money. And then you got to fix it anyway, so you just fix
Sir,
it.
I don't
Yeah.
think I ever want to work for you.
I'm hearing a lot of firings.
Well, when you're in the business that I'm in, when a welder makes a mistake of that magnitude, it usually costs you several $100,000.
God damn.
That's fair. That's why I don't work with my
So
hands.
it's not like, okay, I'm working on a car frame, we can just grind it out and do it again. When the pipe you're working on costs $6,000 a foot, it matters.
Yeah.
Fair. That's a fair point.
Fair.
You work with your hands, you type stuff.
I was gonna say that too.
But it's more in my head.
Unless you're like, okay, Asus, boop, make me work better. Do you do that? Is that how you work?
Okay, but I'm working with my hands. I'm not like doing
Manual labor.
Respectfully,
It's
I'm
not
not
manual
manual labor. It's more critical thinking, logical, or whatever you want to call it. It's white collar. Okay, fair.
But going.
I'm not trying to say bad things. Come on now.
Going back to the way back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I can wait.
No.
Okay, so use case for the camera for old people like me. I was building computers
Oh,
in the
community
70s.
Mike, you're not old.
Yeah, get off my lawn. Anyway,
Reloaded video games on a
I take a
cassette
picture
tape.
of the parking space so I can find it later.
Oh, that's good. I do that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do that
know,
too.
You know, I
I'm
did
sorry.
that. I did that. I was at Universal Studios last weekend, and I did that. But I realized the parking thing on Universal Studios had a mark where you can circle what garage you're in, what
Oh,
floor,
shit.
what
Wow.
That's
area.
nice.
Well,
I was
not
like, oh, that's
all
really
the places
cool.
do that.
Google Maps does.
Yeah.
It does
Right.
do that.
And another thing, taking pictures of things that I mail out. So I send a lot of priority mail packages and stuff.
Oh, so it's like it's
I
like
take
your
a picture
proof?
of it,
Right.
and it's like, okay, don't gripe at me. Here it is. Here's the tracking number.
Yeah.
And then I get the tracking number from the photo I just took, because I can give it to the post office or
you go.
put it in the machine.
Yeah.
Right.
And but I still have the thing as if it was right there.
See, there
Anyway.
are legitimate
There,
uses.
I mean,
Yeah.
also during this trip, we're doing Airbnb, and my girlfriend walked through the room and took pictures of stuff that looked kind of strange or like damaged before we even really
just in
stayed
case there's
in
a
the
claim
room.
against
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
Just in case.
that's smart. I
But
don't,
see,
I don't
but
think
that's-
about shit like
But
that.
that's not
Yeah.
using the camera for selfies. It's using
No.
the cameras for legitimate or legitimate use. You know,
to
like
be, I mean,
I believe the technical term is covering our asses.
CYA.
dig it.
It's cover your ass, but COA.
Cover your asses.
Cover our asses.
Cover your asses. Asses can be plural.
I mean,
They can.
as long
I'll
yeah,
let
as
them.
It's gonna be fun.
long
I'm
as
down with it.
we
I got
heard,
no problem with that.
we heard it in the
Clever.
crowd. As long as asses are covered, I think.
Look, man, I'm
Or
not here
not.
trying to
The
speak good
initialism
English
doesn't
or
really.
whatever.
The initialism, it doesn't matter
Right.
as long as
Initialism.
asses are covered.
Initialism.
But as far as Google's new phone, the Pixel 2, and the LG P30 or any other phone like the Samsung S8 or the
Have we all
HTC
just
U11.
given up on Samsung, by the way?
I have. Fuck yeah, I have. I'm sorry, dude. I have. Sorry, Samsung.
I wanna
but
say-
you lost me at bloatware, your own GUI,
The phone
Nox
exploding,
Boat-
you know,
Their
the whole
phone,
thing.
their phone
Their
exploded.
phone's exploding. Yeah, sure. that's
Minor
one.
point.
I
Minor
do-
And
point.
then the BitLock or the
Well, I mean,
Nox.
they,
The
they,
Nox
they keep
BitLocker.
forcing. For some reason, they keep forcing their own Google apps, but their own branded version of the Google apps on
Yeah.
everyone, which
because
is weird.
they've been trying to get rid of Android since like the S4.
Yeah.
That's why they've been pushing Tizen a lot, but it's
What
never.
the fuck is Tizen?
It's their on Samsung watches. It runs Tizen OS. They wanted to put Tizen on their phones, but they don't have enough of a footprint to make their own OS outside of
Nope,
Google.
they lost me.
Yep.
Community Mike.
What about the issue that these phones are just getting too expensive now?
Ooh,
$1,000
good one.
iPhone.
Everybody has to finance
Yeah.
their phones now.
Yeah,
It's a
you
good
were,
one.
you were talking about
crazy.
them becoming the new iPhone with the pixels. Like,
Yeah.
I wish that they would have
the new
Pix-
iPhone with the price too.
Well, and that's where I'm going.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would have the Pixel line and the Nexus line because I
Oh,
really like the Nexus.
So
line.
they do.
Oh, ooh.
Well,
Ah,
it's not called Nexus, but the Android One program are Nexus type phones. They're pure Android phones. The newest one that came out is the Moto G4. It's a pure Android phone that resells for $400-500, I want to say. So they have a Nexus line. And I'm doing air quotes if you can't see me. They have a Nexus line.
Yeah.
And it's called Android. It's mostly for developing countries, but it's now coming to everywhere else as well. So they have their Nexus line, which is cheap phones that are pure Android, but they're not the Pixel.
Yeah.
So they've got you covered either way.
Interesting.
They got you covered.
I gotta look into Android One.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
Thank you.
But about the price of the Pixel, it is outrageous. I shouldn't have to pay as much for my phone as I do for my laptop.
So
Well,
they-
my laptop can do anything.
They're removing hardware and still charging more. I guess for the features or
You
something.
mean they're removing like the headphone jack?
Yeah. The headphone
So-
jack is
Why would
very.
you do that?
The headphone jack is very. I didn't realize how much it would affect me because I was all for getting a Pixel 2 until they confirmed that headphone jack is gone, and then I didn't realize how much that would affect me because I use headphones constantly on my phone.
I also do, but I use Bluetooth. I use Bluetooth on my headphones and I use Bluetooth in my car, so it's not a huge issue for me. But I totally understand the sentiment
yeah.
for other
Yeah,
people.
I
that it
don't
is an issue.
because I'm an audiophile, and they just don't make Bluetooth headphones that I
you're an audiophile
like
or
yet.
you like MPEG or Wave?
Or
No.
streaming.
just
No, I got what you said.
just-
I got what
just-
you said.
just-
I mean,
You've got to be streaming
just
audio
terrible
and
at the
If I-
terrible
I'm
at the
throwing them out
terrible.
there, and everybody's just like, "Fuck
all right,
you,
to
Chen."
answer,
No,
to
I'm
answer,
actually
to answer
with you on
Chen's
that.
terrible pun, I'm a flack.
All right, that, no,
Wait,
no, that's,
wait.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Wait,
Okay.
community mic?
Oh.
Go ahead.
So,
with the
so
audio.
I didn't realize because I have two pairs of great headphones, but they're not Bluetooth. So that would require me buying an extra thing to convert them to Bluetooth, like a little dongle thing.
Actually, it comes with the dongle. The Pixel 2 has a dongle. It goes from USB-C to.
To headphone
Headphone jack.
Yeah, but then how can I charge my phone at the same time?
There's a splitter.
Oh. Well, there you
Oh,
go.
does it come in the box?
Yeah.
It does.
Well, look at that.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. The adapter comes in the box,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the splitter.
yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
He
splitter.
looked at you.
I was
long
like,
and hard.
I was like,
He's
are you just lying to me
Doxy.
right now?
No, I was
Doxy.
You're just
saying-
lying to my
I was
face
saying-
and being assertive about it. That's scary. That's you should sell cars.
I am the
I
number
just
one
saw an
buyer.
article. They have a splitter for like $20. It's
Yeah, it's not a cost-breaking feature. But it comes with an adapter, so if you have regular headphones, you can still use them with the Pixel. It just doesn't come with a splitter, so it's shitty, but it's not the end of the world.
It's the end of my world.
No, so to BGM's point, and I have to side with him on this one, like I use predominantly Bluetooth headphones. I do. Okay, but there are some apps, like for instance, my soft phone app, that just does not accept the Bluetooth audio in the application for some reason.
Then you should tell those devs to get on their shit.
Well, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
but for the time being, I could plug in my headphone jack, headphones, and then use that application. You know, so BGM has some points, some valid points.
No,
there.
absolutely.
Plus,
Oh,
for fellow audiophiles, the V30 has a quad DAC inside of it, so the audio is going to sound amazing.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, like, and to counter that, I'm watching YouTube and listening to
Yeah.
shitty music in my car, or like when I'm at my desk at work.
You're watching YouTube in your car?
Absolutely, dude.
Drive
What,
safe.
what else am I going to be doing while I'm driving?
You're going to pay attention to the road.
Amateur hour.
Pay attention.
I kind of dropped my jaw there.
You know what the fuck I
No,
mean.
I listen to YouTube.
I listen to YouTube too. I
Yeah.
do.
You know what the fuck.
But I thought he was actually
But I
watching
mean,
the thing.
in general, on my phone, I'm watching YouTube videos and shit. Like I'm not listening to like great orchestras or big band music or anything.
Dude, you're
I'm,
missing
I'm
out.
watching fucking stupid YouTube videos. I don't need a quad deck. I don't need amazing audio for YouTube.
You're
shit.
still being
On my whole-
downsampled though, because if you watch YouTube videos and anything higher than 720, it's going to be coming through at in AAC quality, like high quality audio.
Not to downplay the audio at all. I never knew that, and I never would have known that. I would never have picked up on it. Sounds fine to me, but I'm not an audio person, so I don't know.
That was his backhanded sideways of saying, I don't give
I
a
don't
shit.
give up.
Oh, no, I'm saying. I know. That's why I told you
I know,
before. I know it's important for you, but for me, I just. It
Yeah,
does,
it's
I don't.
not for everybody.
Yeah,
know.
I don't even know what that
I'm
means.
just saying you're still being downsampled on YouTube.
Downsample the fuck out of me.
Okay, let's do this. Community Mike, go ahead.
Playing devil's advocate here, can we just say it's just technology moving forward? Apple pioneered the no more CD drives, no more floppy drives, and now, just here we are.
Could be that.
He brings up a good point too.
But I don't want to have to charge my headphones
I'm
every time I want to use them.
Old.
It's always
Now.
it's always a pain point at first. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's always painful at first.
It took a while for me to get used to a software keyboard. I was all about
Me too.
physical
Me too.
keyboards.
I love the slide out keyboard.
And
right?
actually, even more recent than floppy and CD drives. Think about before when phones had 20 different charging types. Every phone you bought had a different kind of charging.
That was some bullshit.
Some were micro USB, some were the 30-pin connector for iPhone.
Oh,
some,
yeah,
some
that
were
sucked.
some were USB Type A. I don't know what the fuck they were. But now we're gradually moving to everybody being USB-C, which is cool. But now I have all these micro USB cables that are shitty that I can't do anything with.
Wah, wah.
So I mean, it's
You
not.
can,
It's not
you
this.
can convert. You can buy little adapters that go in there.
I'm just kidding. I use them for my PlayStation. But you get the point.
Yeah, I get the point.
You get the point.
Okay. So let's slowly head towards the lightning round, but really quick.
Let's not.
Well, why not?
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Or whatever. Okay. So really quick, community mics, questions, comments.
I mean, a few years ago, people were complaining that CD drives weren't on laptops anymore. I mean, but we're all online, so it doesn't matter.
I have one of mine.
I do not have a CD
I mean,
drive.
if you really need one, you just get an external one.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
You right.
Next, community mic.
Do I hear a young tech guy complaining about he just got made obsolete?
Yeah.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, because
I mean,
I prefer.
hold
I have really great headphones, and I don't want to have to change them to Bluetooth.
Absolutely.
all right, community mic.
I don't want to do things that way.
I just wonder, like, why are we getting mad at like phone manufacturers for advancing the technology, but we're not mad at like the people making the headphones? Like, why are you still using like the same stuff that you've been using forever when there's way better technologies that you could adopt?
Are there better technologies for audio? I don't know.
Maybe with the Pixel and the iPhone both dropping headphone jack, maybe now we'll start seeing quality Bluetooth. But
That could be absolutely.
so far, every Bluetooth headset that I've heard so far can't compare to either of the two wired headsets that I use.
One
Holy
final.
shit, we've outraged a lot of people. Hang on.
Wow.
It's been less than a month than there was a remote code execution on Bluetooth. Can we just agree that occasionally wires are a good thing?
Yes.
My one final.
Thank you, Fozzie. Thank you, Fozzie.
My one final thought on the price of like the Pixel and the iPhone or whatever. I don't agree with that at all. I think it is too expensive.
It's a little outrageous.
Outrageous, absolutely.
It's almost $1,000. It's over $1,000 in the iPhone's case.
Yeah. I know Pixel is trying. I know Android is trying to match iPhone to make it seem premier, like a premier phone. I get that, but at the same time, it's stupid, and I don't like it. So.
From where I sit, which is right here in between Chen and Mr. Ferry. Sorry, Buck.
Buck, please.
From where I sit,
Looks like the buck stops here.
the V30 is the best phone for
the
me
end of the
personally. The only thing that I would say would sway me back towards the Pixel is the fact that Pixel runs Android O and it's pure Android. But
Right,
that's
right.
the only thing it has going for it, in my opinion.
No, that's a good point too. It must be a hard decision on your end. Yeah. Okay, really quick before we. Whoa, what the fuck? All right.
Goddamn.
Sorry, we got a lot of comments tonight. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Well, as far as getting back to the idea of like totally giving up and not caring at all, and it's like, okay, it's all open book and whatever.
Take me.
So, going to an open source lifestyle and using, like, for instance, ham radio of some kind, and using that to connect to, TCP and things, without any encryption whatsoever. You know, you're given a call sign. Here I am. Whatever. But you get a lot of cheap stuff out there. I mean, a lot of these guys use a lot of. Anyway, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we were to do that, why would people do that? People who already don't care about
never
tech.
get never get a phone bill, but it's you're still communicating.
But could they call me? Like if I was on a phone?
If you're on a phone, you're on the phone network, so you don't count. So.
Not to downplay, but I'm saying like people.
But the people in Puerto Rico and the Irma and all the whatever these hurricanes.
Let's tie this back to our first topic from tonight. What's the way to get away from those people who are trying to look up?
Oh yeah, you know what? If I don't want people calling me, I should get a radio.
Yeah, and this way you can still communicate.
Problem solved.
You guys.
Look at that. Problem solved. Community mic. Last one.
So with Bluetooth, the Bluetooth 5.0 just came out, so Bluetooth technology is going to get better and better. So eventually, it will be just as good as actual aux.
So I know the V30 I saw on the spec sheet supports Bluetooth 5.0. I don't know what the difference is. Does Bluetooth 5.0 have security increases, or is it just signal quality and distance?
I haven't looked into it. I don't know.
From what I glanced at, it's just more bandwidth and greater range.
Okay, so signal quality and distance.
So I wonder if they're still going to be susceptible to the latest security flaws.
I mean, if it's running the same thing, then yeah, I would assume so.
So see, that's still a big issue. All right, before we go on to the lightning round, Zenify, you have a mention about something.
Yeah.
If
anybody is looking to get into like the security field at all or anything, there's a book bundle out right now. It's the Humble Book Bundle. I don't know if you guys have heard of Humble Bundle at all.
I might have gotten that already.
Yeah. Well, this one's called Hacking Reloaded. It's basically pay what you want. The tiers are $1, $8, and $15. $15 being you get all the books, and it's about $565 worth of books.
Yo.
And it's done by No Starch Press, and we've interviewed loads of people.
I have a lot of No Starch Press books, but as I mentioned earlier, I like to have physical copies because I take notes.
So the things for these is they're download, they're DRM free, and it comes in 3 different formats. So you could.
Does it come in hardcover?
No.
Is paperback one of the formats?
No.
You can print a PDF though.
But yeah, so you actually could. You could just send it to like a company to do it and bind it.
I'll go to what is it? No, it's not Kinko's. Kinko's is gone. It's FedEx office.
FedEx, yeah.
Kinko's is gone?
Yeah, I'll go to FedEx office.
Where the fuck have I been?
Just pay the same amount I would for the book to print out a PDF version of it.
When was the last time I was like, man, I need to print something? Where's Kinko's? All right.
Yeah. So there's only 2 days remaining left with this bundle. So.
All right.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Thank you,
I
Zenify.
might just pick it up just to have the books.
I did.
Even if they're not in my preferred
free,
format.
I could give them to you guys.
Yeah, that's true. It's DRM free, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, great. All right, so before we go on the lightning round, I want to make a quick reminder. We mentioned
It's got to be a fast lightning round.
I know, man. I'm working on it. Okay, so we are.
I mean, it would suck if people just kept interrupting you.
Oh, we're doing this again? Oh, okay, thanks. You know what, though? Here I am interrupting myself. We have a lot of good feedback for the type of banter that comes. Like, we never do the. Anyway, I find it.
I don't know what you
I don't know what
said.
the fuck I just said. Really quick, though.
Yeah, people throwing you off
None
at
of
the
those-
end when you're trying to get
none
to
of
the
those were
segment.
words.
It's just terrible.
Nothing he said was like a full statement.
Hold on. Okay.
All right, wait, Chen, take your time, collect your thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breath in through the nose.
We mentioned
Out
this
through the
last. We mentioned this last week. We are transitioning over to Slack. I am still in IRC, and we actually have a listener who's kind of following along. So they'll be on Slack with us in just a second. But we are transitioning to Slack. So if you want to follow along in the conversation, send us a direct message through Twitter, or you can email us all at greynoi.se, and we will invite you to the Slack channel. It is invite only.
Did you give him the URL?
For what?
If you give somebody the URL, can they just request an invite from there?
I believe they can. Yeah.
Oh,
Can they?
yeah. What is
It's
the-
greynoisemedia.slack.com.
Slack.com. Yeah,
Yep.
greynoisemedia.slack.com. So remember that. Okay, now we can go into the lightning round. Remember, so, the lightning round, for those of you who do not know, is we're just going to read a couple of headlines, give you our never a tweets link, but now that it's 280 characters, maybe.
It's gotta be.
Right?
Maybe.
We'll do the headlines, we'll do our tweets length. Don't look at my screen.
I'm not looking at you, dude.
And we want you to do your research. We don't want to tell you what to think. We just want to give you, where to go. So here today we are at infosecurity-magazine.com. Okay. First
Slash
one.
news.
Slash news. Thank you. Are we ready?
Sure.
Which way are we going?
I'll start.
Okay. All right. You're starting first. Okay. Despite publicity, database misconfigurations grow voluminous. Why are you looking at the? You're cheating.
I'm not cheating. I'm looking.
Do you even have an opinion on
I'm
this
looking
thing?
at the headlines that you're looking at.
Okay, yeah, that's cheating.
Okay, let's go around.
BGM?
So I hear it as, despite fucking up, Equifax still gets a contract.
Essentially, yes.
I mean, I feel like that's also
exactly.
it
Yeah,
fits
that's essentially the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Mr.
it's,
Ferry?
it's okay. We hired contractors to do it. It's not our fault.
We take no blame.
Oh, I hate you.
Oh, I hate
No,
everyone
I
who
mean, I
says
don't,
that.
but like you're so blatantly
We're
obvious.
never gonna hire those people again.
Oh,
Does anybody have
no.
any comments on this one? No, he's chilling.
It's
Okay.
just sad.
It's just sad. Got it. Okay, next one. Password policies remain archaic across organizations. Okay, BGM.
Yeah,
So, top 2 archaic password procedures, in my opinion. Number 1 would be password history requirements. That's dumb because people are just going to keep changing their password over and over to get to the one that they want. Number 2 is max length on password. Dumb. Why would you ever do that? Why would you put a max length? I understand if you're saving it in like an nvarchar 255, you want to put a max limit of 255 on there. But
you
otherwise,
said words.
don't
I
put
know
an
some of
upper
those
limit.
words.
Don't put an upper limit on your password lengths.
Tweets length, huh?
Also, password history requirements are done. I think
I would agree with all of those things.
Yeah, I was in charge of setting up a new password thing for my company, and people, they do what they want.
Yeah, they do.
They do what they want.
Of
It's
course,
cool, though.
I don't have anything to worry about because mine's password 124.
Oh shit, son.
That's because
Fuck, I would've
you
never
started
guessed that one.
you started with 1, 2, 3, but because of password history requirements,
I
you
had
can-
to change
Now it's
it to
password
124.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, ready for the next article?
Yes.
Okay, criminals launch elaborate Atlantic monthly impersonation campaign.
I don't know what that means.
So they're impersonating the Atlantic?
What's the Atlantic?
What does that have to
Is
do
that
with
like Is that like a
infosecurity?
boating magazine?
I don't know. It's on the
What
InfoSec News.
does that have to do with InfoSec? What's the subtitle?
Sounds like a boating magazine, and I don't know about.
Fraudulent job offers to freelancers are aimed at collecting social security numbers. Oh, so this is social engineering.
Okay, yeah.
It's phishing, essentially.
Maybe I should be on
Don't
that.
be dumb.
Yeah, don't be dumb.
The best defense against phishing is
Education.
is education. So I was going to say
Education.
Best defense against phishing is whaling laws.
Oh my God.
we're going to need a bigger boat.
All right, let's say this is the let's say this is the
Asshole.
last article. All right, NSA. There's a new normal on the nation-state front. What the fuck? That doesn't say shit.
No, read the subtitle.
Sorry, subtitle says, phishing and vulnerability exploitation remain the top 2 threat vectors against the government.
That's duh.
Yeah, phishing.
Duh.
Phishing is going to work because people aren't properly educated.
I bet
Education.
I bet the NSA is tired of filtering all the spam that says "have small hands." Don't click on that.
That was really good. I'm gonna let that one slide. That was really good.
All of
what
them.
I can.
I'm gonna
I like
say
that. I like
all
that a
of
lot.
Buckberry's have been good. Yours have not been so good.
You know what? Everybody has their own style of comedy, man. All right. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the lightning round, which unfortunately brings us to the end of the show. As always, we've run out of time, but never, ever, 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 ever out of shit to say.
In
Nope.
fact, we
So
still
aggressive.
haven't gotten to my BGMs going
Oh
mad.
shit,
for
son!
fuck's sake, yeah.
I'm going mad about it.
Well, maybe next week. We'll
Maybe
do
next week.
that. The
Maybe
first
Definitely
topic.
next week.
The first topic. So remember, all of October, 31 Days of Scary, you can participate too. Movies, video games, or haunted houses, or whatever the fuck scares the shit out of you.
And just real quick, if you guys like the intro, let me know because I love compliments.
And there you go. All right. So remember, we are here every Friday night, 7:30, at the Sin Shop, 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Sinshop.org for more information on the shop. Go to meetup.com/Sinshop to find out what the fuck we're doing. And for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And for the last time, I'm Buck Ferry.
For the first and last. Good night, everybody.